You know, you don't need a shirt.
All right, what's up, everybody? Week 5. Hard to believe we're already into week 5 of the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Season is just cruising. We're in October now. My NFL last week, I did hit the Thursday night game, which was the who the hell was it? Cincinnati. My Bengals play. That's right. That hit. But I went 2-2-1 on Sunday. New York Giants over, which at the half was soaring over, and then nothing happened after that, so we ended up losing that. Raiders under did not hit, but then our Buffalo Bills with a big comeback for the push.
There you go.
And we had 2 other plays, which I can't remember.
What the fuck is Harbaugh doing, not kicking a field goal, 4th and goal? Like, this analytic bullshit? Dude, kick the field goal to go up 3.
Yeah, well, analytics destroying every sport.
Oh, bro, every fucking sport.
I didn't see one play on Sunday because I was between flag football,
right,
water football, hockey games of my own. I got home at I don't know, 5:45 and saw the second half of the Pats. That was it. So I don't know what happened.
I'm wearing this for you. We had another moral victory over the weekend. 1-3, but 2 moral victories.
Yeah, that was one of the years I had on Sunday.
They're playing with their 3rd string quarterback now, so all this stuff has to wash away now because no one was anticipating playing.
Hold on, no.
Frank Zappa as the quarterback.
Hold on a second.
Frank Zappa.
Hold on a second. This is
don't eat that yellow snow.
This is classic Patriot honkism, Hammer. This is what I've heard for 20 years. When they play the
wait a second. For 20 years, your boyfriend was the fucking quarterback. All right, I don't want to hear about it. There's no one in the NFL that would have said the Patriots are going to go 10-7 if Frank Zappa was the quarterback. All right, nobody. So come on.
Here's the thing, though. When they played Tennessee last year and Derrick Henry missed, all I heard was, "Hey, you can only play the schedule. I mean, injuries are part of football."
Okay, you're going to compare the running back to the quarterback.
I mean.
So anyway, it doesn't matter. Frank Zappa took him to overtime. Whatever.
Is his first name Frank?
I don't know what his name is.
It's Bailey Zappi.
Bailey Zappi.
I mean, he led college football in touchdown passes and passing yards last year. I mean, over at Western Kentucky. So he had a big season last year. But I mean, we're wasting too much time talking to the Patriots. They're fucking around. I hit them +10. They're done. Like, what are we doing?
No.
Yeah, they're in big trouble now.
Well, Jones is going to go. Maybe.
Who?
Mac Jones might go.
They said today he still couldn't move around.
I'd be shocked, but I don't know why they're playing this game.
There's no point in letting them play.
Listen, if you're gonna go 4-12 or 4-13, you might as well wear the white helmets with Pat the Patriot. It's gonna feel like the old times, like that we're back in the early 90s.
Well, they got a couple games that they're gonna be wearing those, right?
Yeah. Isn't everybody doing that? Isn't everyone?
Yeah, the Giants did it last week and they did it the week before, and they're all whites and they're doing it again.
I mean, the NFL, these guys need to make money. I mean, you got games, they're streaming the Thursday night game, so most people can't watch it because Amazon said they'd pay a little bit more than Fox.
Right.
And these owners got families to feed. They can't live off, billions. Come on.
Yeah. How was week 2 at Tony's streaming? Did you get it squared away or week? Well, I guess second week.
How did I do it? Actually, it was better this week. It worked better. I mean, it's not me like being able to log it in and do it. I got it up there. This week was much better though than the first week because I wasn't even going to try anymore. But it's stupid. It's stupid that this is what they're doing. But they want to grow the game and they want people to watch it. Yet, I mean, there's a lot of people that in this country that don't have streaming smart TVs. Let's just start off with smart TVs that don't have smart TVs.
I mean, there's still websites where you can stream it and stuff. I'm not going to promote those on here, but they exist. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Bengals wore those all whites and their new white helmets and stuff. They actually look pretty good on Thursday night.
Yeah, I mean everyone's got a third uniform they're trying.
Yeah, they were laying 3 of the Dolphins, and that was easy. It kind of scared me a little bit when Tua got hurt and Teddy Bridgewater came in the game because he covers like crazy, which is part of the reason why I'm on the Dolphins this week. But they pulled away late in that game and they easily covered.
Interception, right? Late interception.
It was a late interception. He hit a bomb to Tyreek Hill, and I think they had the lead briefly in like the third quarter. Then after that, the Bengals took over. So that turned into almost pretty much a no sweat play. But that's part of the reason why I'm on the Dolphins this week. They're laying 3 against the Jets. I mean, I got 3 like 2 days ago. I think it's at 3.5 now. I'd even play at 3.5. I played at 4. I mean, you mean to tell me this line was 6 before the Jets miraculously won in Pittsburgh and it dropped an entire field goal? The Jets are not good. Their defense stinks. Their secondary stinks. Their secondary does not have – they can't keep up with Tyreek Hill and they can't keep up with Waddle. There is absolutely no way that their secondary keeps up with those two guys. And Teddy Bridgewater, career – what is he? Against the spread in his career, 67% against the spread lifetime. And on the road as a road dog, 24-6 against 20 on the road in general, 24-6 against the spread, 80%. So they're going to cover the 3. I would take it up to 4.
Yep, I kind of like the under in that game, but
that totally under there as well is not bad. I mean, the Jets don't scare anybody.
No, let's go Thursday night first before we get into Sunday.
Yeah, apologies.
Colts Broncos. Nappy, why don't you give us a couple of your things right off the bat here?
Yeah. So look, I think the big news is Javonte Williams, phenomenal back. Of course, I own him in fantasy. First real big injury of the year to go down at the running back position for the season. There's a lot of speculation who's going to take his place.
Well, they just picked up what Latavius Murray off the practice squad for the Saints and stuff. He scored a touchdown in London too, so I found that a little interesting.
He did, and look, he had a decent game last week, 11 for 57. I think Gordon didn't play. He had 4 fumbles in the first 4 weeks.
He fumbles like crazy,
and then he kind of got benched, and everyone thinks this guy Mike Boone, who I happen to like, he's a 4th, 5th year running back out of Minnesota. What that's done is kind of depressed Melvin Gordon's lines. I'm not sure where you guys fall in the game. Obviously, Denver's favored. The over rushing for Melvin Gordon is 14.5 attempts.
Yeah.
I think that is easy. I think we're both getting a healthy chunk of attempts. I also like his over receiving yards, 13.5. They used the running back. It was either week 2 or week 3. Javonte Williams, I think, had 90 receiving yards.
Okay.
So look, that 13 number is just so light. So I like those 2 as standalones.
The reception yards, I think, is good if you don't mind me. But you sure with the rushing attempts, even with his fumbling problems? Because if he fumbles one right at the get-go, they're going to put him in the doghouse.
Well, I mean, look, yes. If he the bet is he's not going to fumble. I don't think someone can fumble 5 games in a row. I don't think they trust Boone. Here's the problem, Mike Boone. Mike Boone can't pass protect.
No.
And that's always been Mike Boone's issue. So they love this guy, Gordon. I don't know why. I don't think he's that good, but they love him. And, they brought in Murray. I was surprised they even left him on the Saints practice squad after he played. I think that speaks more to Alvin Kamara's health. But the one I like the best, if you were going to double up on one of these, receiving yards, absolutely.
Yeah.
I do like the rushing attempts. If you put those 2 with Courtland Sutton to score a touchdown, which I really like.
Yeah, so I'm to score a touchdown anytime he's plus 150-ish, somewhere around there.
And if you parlay those, like with Barstow, plus 800 if those 3 hit.
Very good. I kind of like Jerry Jeudy. He's at 48.5 reception yards. I kind of like that number that he's got. He hit that number in week 1 and week 4. He was injured in week 2.
Yeah, week 2 he got hurt.
And then week 3 they kind of like eased him back in. So week 4 he was a full go. So I think I like that number. I think it's kind of low. I think he kind of gets that number in the first half. I played up even 50 yards, 52.
No, I like it too. And it's why is it depressed? Like, I swear these odds makers don't look at and think about, well, he missed a game and he got eased back. They just look at the score, take an average and say, here's your total.
Right.
And I think I agree with
and
that.
He traditionally plays the slot. And what Russell Wilson, when he was in Seattle, he would target Tyler Lockett like crazy, who also played the slot. And he'd hit his over reception yards prop all the time. So I think that Jeudy plays pretty good. So I think maybe if you parlay the Gordon plays with Jeudy and Sutton to score a touchdown, you get a nice number on that.
Yep.
I played it, Nappy. You sent it out earlier. The over. Well, I think I got 12.5 yards, honestly, in his receiving. So I did that. I got it.
I mean, he gets it on one screenplay,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about these things well enough to give up plays on them. I hit a couple the other night, but I wouldn't tell anybody to play any of these. I'm playing the Broncos in the game, -3.
Yeah.
It's a scary number. It's a scary line for me. I don't love the Broncos. I don't love the Colts. They got injuries. I'm not a Matt Ryan guy.
No.
He seems like a knife. He played at BC. He's got losing blood pumping through his veins. He always finds a way to lose. Russell Wilson hasn't been very good. So this scares me a little bit on it, but I'm going to go with the home 3-point, and I got it at 3.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with the home 3-point dog. You're right. It's 3.5 everywhere right now.
I wouldn't play it. I wouldn't play it at that number. If you can still get it at a field goal, maybe you'll get a little juice on the Colts when we get close to kickoff, and you can get the Broncos at -3. But I wouldn't play it at anything more than that. I'm kind of staying away from a side because The obvious play to me, I think, is the Broncos, and it's a line with that is just so obvious to play that it's kind of scaring me off it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
one of those situations. But like I said before, like I mentioned before, we were talking, Matt Ryan against the spread in the last 5 years, he's hitting at a 38% rate. He's 26, 43, and 1 against the spread over the last 5 years. So he's totally washed up. They've got no Jonathan Taylor now. So you got Williams, who's out for the Broncos for the season. You got no Jonathan Taylor this year. I had the number 1 pick in one of my fantasy drafts. I took Jonathan Taylor first overall, and he's been absolute dog shit for me. So that guy can fucking go to hell. But I don't think I'm really on his side in this game. But I do like the under, 43.5. Colts unders are 4-0 this year. Denver's 3-1 to the under and 12-5 last year to the under. And Thursday night unders are 3-1 this year, and they were 11-5 last year. And you know the primetime numbers. So on both these are playing, you know, a little bit better, and both offenses are banged up. So I think of all the plays in this game, I think I'm going to go with that under, and I'm going to go with that Jerry Jeudy prop that I mentioned earlier.
Well, if you got 43.5, you got a good number. It's 42 everywhere. Right?
Yeah, that's where I got it. So 43. 42 is really not bad. That's a key number too. So
what?
Yeah, 42 is a key number. I get it there. I play 42 also under the 42.
So two things. I threw the Jeudy over in that. It's 50.5 right now. I see on Barstool.
I'd still play that.
That brings it up to 1,500. Your Jonathan Taylor pick, that's the right pick.
Well, of course, it's the right pick, the number 1 pick. I mean, I was debating between him and I wasn't going to go Christian McCaffrey, but you know what? I really wasn't debating between him and anyone. I mean, I found out I had the number 1 pick like a week or two before, and I'm like, I'm just going to go with Jonathan Taylor. So, but it sucks because it's a 12-team league. So when you get the first pick, if they don't shell out, because it comes back to you, it's a 24 pick, and you're screwed. So if your number 1 pick doesn't work out for you, you're screwed. So I haven't.
So I'll say this. Last year, 3 weeks into the season, I had him last year.
Yeah.
He was RB 28.
I hear you. My buddy told me the same thing. He was terrible. And then
and it's a short week. So rest him up this week, get his ankle back. I wouldn't write that off. I mean, we're in a mode right now where I think people next year are going to start saying, at what point do you go? So right now, Saquon, your boy Saquon's RB.
Yeah.
He's the lowest. He's the lowest scoring RB1 since like the late 90s.
Okay.
All the running back scoring's depressed. You could certainly make a case if you were to go back and draft Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson should have gone 1-2.
Yeah, that's true. It was a half-point PPR also.
Catches every night. How does the guy have 10 catches?
I know.
His over/under for Monday night was 9.5, and I'm like, listen, how can you take a receiver at 9.5? That's a ton. But he gets 13 catches.
But he gets them all the freaking time. And the Rams, I read the Rams have they're the 31st in the NFL in yards per play. 32 is the Bears, and we see how pathetic the Bears are. But the Rams are 31st in football, second to last. They're just something's going on with them. I don't know what the hell's going on. And that game the other night I'm mad. I'm kind of pissed off that I didn't take San Francisco because they've owned them recently, and I was busy selling money. I just sorted over. I just put in like one of those goofy parlays. But yeah, I'm going to be on the under. I'm on the under tomorrow, and that Jeudy prop for the Thursday night game.
Okay.
For sure.
That's your Thursday night game. There's a bunch of Friday night football games in college.
Yep.
I don't really love any of them. I kind of maybe Houston getting 3, but I don't know.
That's not terrible.
Colorado State getting 3.5. I don't mind it, but I see an opening line of 5 here, and they're so bad. I don't know. I'll watch the lines closer as we get closer to Friday. Right now, I don't have anything on Friday.
Houston screwed me last week. They had Tulane. That was a Friday night game against Tulane. They were up 7 on Tulane with like 12 seconds left, and they let Tulane score at the end of the game to tie. They go into overtime. They had the ball first. They didn't score, and then Tulane scored on their first possession and won the game. So
yeah, so I was opposite. I won on all that. So
yeah, I didn't know. I didn't play anything. Well, I mean, I know I had them I had Houston in a money line in a parlay or something like that. I didn't play them straight up. So, but I don't think I touched that game. Nebraska and Rutgers, like who the fuck wants to watch that?
No.
That's gonna be disgusting. That's fucking terrible.
I'm not.
Colorado State getting 3.5 isn't terrible, even though they're 0-4. They're getting 3.5. That's not awful. San Jose State's laying a touchdown. I wouldn't play if you're looking to play that game. UNLV is not very good. Their offense isn't very good either. But San Jose State laying a touchdown, I wouldn't go any further than that. If you're looking for a play on Friday, that's probably where I would go. I'd probably stay off the board entirely. But we got a bunch of games on Saturday.
I got a long list here of things.
I got a bunch of good noon games too, like TCU versus Kansas. In Kansas, I read today. What did I read today or yesterday? Kansas and Syracuse. Like, I'm a Syracuse guy, just being from New York. And one of my assistant coaches went there. Syracuse and Kansas are ranked in the top 25 for the first time at the same time since 1987.
I believe that. Kansas has been shit for years.
I know, they've been fucking dog shit. They've been terrible.
Now, if I see 2 books, DraftKings, FanDuel, you could still get 7 on Kansas. I would take Kansas in this game if you can get the touchdown. Let me see what Barstool's got it at.
I might be on the other side there. I got to do a little more digging.
Yeah,
there's books that are hanging the 6.
Yeah, I know. Circa's got a 6.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna look.
Both defenses aren't that great against the run, but TCU is top 10 in explosive run and explosive run plays in their pass offense. So
they just score.
Kind of leaning that way. I think if this was last week with our unranked Kansas, this line probably be 10. I think. So I don't know if and their win against Iowa State last Saturday wasn't that incredible of a win. You had the kid from Iowa State missed like a 27-yard field goal to send it to overtime, and then there was a pick 6, I think, as well in that game, and that's pretty much how Kansas beat them. So it wasn't really an overwhelming win, but again, it's Iowa State, and Iowa football just sucks in general. So
because Iowa's got a game at noon, right? They're playing Illinois, and I'm taking Illinois because Iowa can't even score a freaking touchdown.
Texas and Oklahoma, they're playing that. So Texas, this is the first time Texas is favored in quite a long time, and they haven't been favored against Oklahoma very often over like the last 30 years or so. But even without knowing much about the game, I think the play is the over, because in those matchups, like a shit ton of points are always fucking.
Well, Oklahoma can't stop anybody, so.
Right? So they haven't looked good, and I'm fine with. I'm not a big Oklahoma guy, so fuck the Sooners. So I'm okay with what they're doing right now. But again, I'm not a big Longhorn guy either. They always seem to, shit the bed in spots that are built for them. So I don't know what side I'd be on in that game, but the over is something I'm definitely looking at.
Kind of like Louisville over Virginia, and everyone knows I'm not a Virginia fan. But Louisville, maybe this line's a little smaller than it should be because of their bad loss against BC over the weekend.
Right.
I'm leaning.
It's so funny. I was thinking, I was like, I got a buddy up in Boston. I go, should I bet BC? He's like, don't do it. You're gonna fucking hate.
No,
and they ended up winning straight up.
When they were 16 points, I'm like, I like BC. I talked to Elio about it on Saturday. I'm like, it's 13.5 at kickoff. I'm not taking it 13.5 now. They win the game, and I'm so pissed at myself.
Turk, what's the issue with Virginia?
The quarterback sucks. He's so bad.
You said you hate him. I thought it was more like a Notre Dame hate sort of.
No. Speaking of Notre Dame, I played in the Boston chapter Notre Dame golf tournament yesterday. No idea how I ended up at it. There was maybe 24 people playing it. So great turnout for Notre Dame.
Okay.
Let's see what other games. The Missouri Florida at noon. 11 points. I mean, I know Missouri, but I think that's too many points.
Well, Missouri really bad. Missouri shot themselves in the foot last week. They could have upset Georgia big time, and they were up. They were up a touchdown, I think, or it might have been double digits in the fourth quarter. And late in the fourth quarter, they were up a score, and they just fucking blew it. That would have been the upset of the year so far, I think, in Georgia. It wasn't Missouri, but still. So coming off that game, I mean, if they didn't play Georgia tight, this game would probably be like 14, I'd say. So 11.5, I think, is a lot. I'd kind of lead Missouri getting the points there, but it is at the Swamp. You got Tennessee and LSU. I kind of think a lot of points are scored in that game. But
LSU Auburn game Saturday night. I had that over. And I think it was 47. There was 31 points at the half, and it doesn't go over. Jesus. I don't know if you watched it. It was just turnover in the fourth quarter. And all he needed was one more score in the fourth quarter. I couldn't get it.
How about that? What did I say last week? The one game that I was on immediately once I saw that it came out was the Air Force Navy under, and bada bing, bada boom. There you go. What was crazy was
Air Force early. There was
but this happened. So Air Force, Air Force, they don't throw the football. They run the option. They don't throw the fucking football, right? So what do? They score a 75-yard touchdown in the first 45 seconds of the game. Then they go downfield, they march downfield, in the next possession they hit a field goal. It's 10-0 in the first 5 minutes of the game. I go, okay, well, this fucking under is fucked, right?
Yeah.
So there's no more scoring the rest of the half until Navy hits a field goal a little bit later. It's 10-3 at the half, and I think the final was 13-10. It's soared way under the number. And the same thing happened in the Army-Navy game last year. There were 2 touchdowns scored in the first quarter, Army-Navy. It was like 10-7 at the end of the first quarter, and there was very little scoring the rest of the game, and that under hit too. So it doesn't matter how much scoring is scored early, the unders always hit in these Naval Academy games. And I hit Navy getting 14 too. It's crazy.
Is that Army-Navy game in Gillette this year, or is that next year?
I don't know. They always rotate between like Baltimore.
Well, it's coming to New England. They're playing
They play Philadelphia sometimes. They play it in Jersey.
I don't think it's this year either. I think it's next year. It might be next year.
I forget the one that I went to.
Hard ticket to get, I bet.
I think it was when Obama was president because he came there did the coin toss. I think it was at MetLife. It's an experience to go to, man. It is out of control. So if you could ever go to, what's that?
2023, they're doing it.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to go to it. I'm sure it'll be.
You can go. I highly suggest getting there nice and early and tailgating and going. It is out of control.
Yeah. All right, real quick through for us the college before we can do some more NFL, and I know we got a few topics we want to get into.
Yeah.
I'm just going to rattle off a few games I'm looking at. I haven't bet any of these yet. I kind of like Virginia Tech getting 15.5. I like the UMass under at 50, but it's at 47 now, so totally missed that.
UMass.
What other ones we had here? I have a bunch of things written down here. I like Georgia Tech. I like Georgia Tech getting 3.5. That's at 4 o'clock. I kind of like North Carolina getting 3.5.
Okay.
You see my sheet. I have about 25 games written.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm trying to find it right now.
The Air Force under. I kind of like the BC play, the over in the BC game.
Okay.
Over 49 with Clemson. South Carolina getting. So I must have this number. I have South Carolina getting 10. Why does that say 5.5 now? Holy shit, that line has dropped.
That is a big difference.
Wait, it was 10 this morning.
Do you have anything in the Notre Dame game?
Maybe I might have looked at the wrong. Maybe I wrote the wrong thing. Then it was 10. I see it opened at 10, 12.5, 10 at all these books. And it's down to 5 now.
Oh my God, this Iowa-Illinois total is 37.
I know, but you can't take that. I'm taking Illinois -3 because I don't even know that Iowa can score 10 points.
Iowa can't even move the damn.
How about BYU Notre Dame?
Yeah, I'm not a big Notre Dame guy. You think I would be because I'm a Yankee fan and I'm from New York and one of my buddies here is a Notre Dame fan. I can't fucking stand the Irish.
I can't stand Notre Dame.
I just hate them. But if I was to go for a side in that game, I'd probably lean Notre Dame getting, laying 3.5.
That's in Vegas.
Oh, it's a neutral field. Oh, yeah, so they're wearing those fancy uniforms and all that kind of stuff. So, okay. So, I mean, if that was probably in South Bend, the number would probably be a little bit higher.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I lean Notre Dame laying the points in that one.
Yeah, I kind of like NC State laying 3, maybe the total in that game.
I got a feeling this Bama line is a little 23.5. So remember like a couple months ago when you had Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban got into that friggin' argument over Saban said something about Jimbo paying his players money, all the NIL money. He's paying his players to go there. So this was all the talk a bunch of months ago over the summer. So I don't know if Jimbo remembers that or if Saban remembers that and it's kind of like a, let's beat the shit out of him spot. So, I mean, 23.5 I think is a lot, but it is in Tuscaloosa. So and I don't know. I'd lean Texas A&M getting the points there, but I bet a lot of points are scored in that game, though.
But you got a 23.5 with a 51 total.
Yeah.
So
it's tough. I'd probably go over.
I think points on a low scoring. You'd expect 51 for college is kind of a low scoring game.
Yeah.
And you're gonna catch 24.
Correct. But I mean, that was my thinking the other day when in the Air Force Navy game, and Navy was getting 14, and the total was like 36.5 or something like that, super low. I go, well, if I like the under, Navy probably keeps it a little close. So they were getting 2 touchdowns, and they both hit. So that's my way of thinking in something like that. But
I don't know if there's anything else that's. I mean, I have a ton written down here. I'm not.
Stanford getting 7 there at home against Oregon State. That's not a terrible number.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't play anything better than that, but there's still a lot of time before Saturday. These college football lines move like crazy. They move quick, and a lot of action comes in on Friday and Saturday morning and stuff.
Yeah, last week I took North Carolina early in the week over 51.5. It closed at 58. Mm-hmm. I had the best closing line value in the history, and the number lands on 51.
Fuck.
Stays under.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I had the speaking in NFL, I had the what did I have? I had the Tennessee Indianapolis under, and I think there were only 7 points scored in the second half, and it stayed under by half a point, and it was like a missed field goal at the end of the game, so I got lucky in that one. So I did have a winning week. I was 10-8 on the week, not an awesome week, but
those are great.
Still a winning week, yeah.
Where is the dry erase board reside at the new house? Is it on the ground? You keep looking down. Is it on the floor?
So I actually have two of them. Right now, it's laying on the freezer over here, and then I have another one in the basement side.
You had the big one that was behind you on that.
Yeah, I don't have a. So this is going to be finished within the next 6 months, I would say. But right now, I don't have a place to hang it.
Just hang it from the ceiling on strings.
Yeah, I mean, I could do something like
that. Right behind you.
Yeah, on strings though, I feel like it would be an issue.
Well, writing on it, yeah.
You'd be writing on it and people bumping into it. It wouldn't work. Yeah. So yeah.
I hear you.
So now we move to NFL Sunday. I have not. There are some great numbers here if you like to tease games. Now I only tease NFL games if I can get them through the two numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Green Bay as an 8. You got.
Tampa I would take Green Bay laying to 8. I mean, that game is. I'm not going to as a Giant fan because I'm obviously hopeful in there. I can't believe that they're 3-1, but they haven't really played great teams. The 3 wins really aren't.
Yeah, so if you take them down to under a field goal, you take Tampa Bay down under a field goal. That's a great. The Vikings down to just win. There are some great numbers out there if you like to do that stuff.
I mean, I wouldn't even play that game at 9:30. The Giants don't even know who they're going to be starting at quarterback. I mean, how much of a fucking disaster. Daniel Jones is actually looking decent, a lot better than a lot of people thought. He ran for 2 touchdowns the other day. He rolls his fucking ankle. Tyrod Taylor comes in 3 plays later. He has a fucking concussion. And then Daniel Jones has to come back in, and they just put him out wide as a decoy, and they've got fucking Saquon Barkley running the goddamn Wildcat for 3 plays in a row. We actually got a first down and a field goal out of the drive.
This is what killed my over.
So who the hell knows fucking what's going to happen? But I would stay. I'm not touching the Giants in that game. I would just hammer the Packers if you're going to do that. So in these London games, forget it. I'm sick and tired of them. Stupid.
I did not realize earlier that was a London game.
Yeah, it's a fucking London game.
Okay. Well, you know why? Now Green Bay had to give up a home game, right? That's kind of part of that package whenever we get the 17th game. So at least it's not Jacksonville every year.
Yeah,
like the 3, worst.
Why somebody has to do it.
Yeah, I mean it's a Packer home game technically, so that's not a game they're playing it. So
this is the first. Green Bay was the only team not to play in London. Now they're finally playing. Yeah. Every other team has played there. The Giants have played there 3 times. They're 2-0 in London. They actually played the first time ever in London. It was them against the Dolphins back in the year they won the Super Bowl, the first one. And
I don't understand the reason for the game, but whatever. Going to get into that.
You hit on something, Turk, and I think I might do it just looking at it here. You know me, I like those big 3-team money line parlays, and it actually kind of lines up this week. I haven't bet 1 week this year. I just haven't liked that third team. But I think the Packers and the Bucks make it pretty easy this week. You just need a third team to kind of get it in even money. It's basically
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota's not going to lose to the Bears.
The other one.
I don't know. If the numbers match up, I'll play. I just hate backing the Vikings. I hate backing Kirk Cousins. I backed him in London and I escaped because I played him early. So I got him at 2.5.
I thought of you. I said, yeah, you got the good line.
Everybody I got him because I played him on Tuesday for a Sunday fucking game. And the kid hits a 60-yarder to tie the game. Then Minnesota goes down, hits a field goal. I figured Minnesota would miss that field goal because there's something about Minnesota and just missing field goals that always happen. Oh. And then the kid comes down 61-yarder and hits the post and then hits the crossbar, double doink. So it was crazy. So I escaped with the win by a half point there. So I hate backing the Vikings, even though the Bears are dog shit.
With the 60-yard field goals now, that kind of sucks that the people are hitting those things now.
I know.
I mean, it's hard to I don't know. So I haven't played
Survivor. Are you alive?
I am alive. I am. Me and 3 other people, like the entire.
You don't even want to advertise the pick, right? You got to keep that.
I don't know who it is yet. I don't know who it is yet. I don't know what I'm going to take yet. But yeah, there's only me and 3 other guys left.
Well, I mean, I think there's an obvious pick if you haven't taken them yet. I mean, the first game on Sunday.
But I've already taken them.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So I've already jumped on, like I mentioned earlier, I took the Dolphins at -3. I think they're still hanging a 3 in some spots. Okay, so like I said, I would take them. I mentioned before, Teddy Bridgewater against the spread, 80% against the spread as a dog. 68% against the spread in his lifetime. The line was 6 before the Jets won the game, and that line swung by 3 points because they beat up Mitch Trubisky in the first half and a rookie quarterback making his first start ever in the second half and 3 interceptions. Exactly. So the Steelers are fucking bad. I don't know how the Jets won that game, but they did. So they've got a miracle win against Cleveland and a pretty ridiculous win against Pittsburgh. But I think the Jets are not good. Their defense stinks. Their secondary stinks. Who's going to keep up with Tyreek Hill and Waddle? They're not fucking good. And Teddy Bridgewater against the spread is crazy. So I got the Dolphins -3, and I'm on Seattle. I got them laying. I got them getting 6.
Where are they? Why can't I find them?
Is the 6 still hanging?
5.5.
5.5 in spots.
5.5.
Where did I get them? 6.5? What the hell? Let me look at my ticket. What do I got? Yeah, I got him at 6. So my early reads last week went 4-0. So I got 2 early reads that I made yesterday. So I got Seattle +6. I mean, the Saints are banged up. They're coming off the London game. I just don't think this should be a touchdown spread. So I'm on Seattle getting 6. And I think I'm going to play – man, again, I hate backing the Lions.
Yeah.
What's the line? The Lions are getting 3.
3, yeah.
And that game's at Gillette. Again, Zap. I might be on that at 3. I feel like it might dip a little bit. I don't now the Lions are 4-0 to the over. Their games have been out of control. I'm kind of really pissed off I didn't take that over against Seattle. I just looked at it.
What an easy one that was.
I looked at the game and I go, ew, Seattle versus the Lions, forget about it. It's one of those games I just skipped right over. And I'm pissed off I didn't do a little more digging because I should have been all over that over, and it soared over the number in the second quarter or something like that. So that was an easy hit. But I might play Detroit getting 3 in that game. It just sucks taking them. And the over, yeah, maybe. But again, is New England going to keep up their end of the bargain with that total? I don't know.
So, yeah, that's what and the line has dropped to 45.5. And I originally was saying over in that game.
Right.
I think if it goes over, you've got the right side. I think if there's 50 points scored in that game, it's because the Lions win.
Right. So I would lean over and Detroit in that game. I got to wait to play it. I think I might play Tennessee. They're laying 2.5 before it gets to 3. I think I might play them. I mean, the friggin' Redskins, they're the
Redskins.
Whatever. The football team, whatever the fuck you want to call them. They're not good. They're dog shit. So even with that game in Washington, I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
I like Tennessee. I had them last week. I like Tampa Bay minus the 8.5. I think they're going to destroy Atlanta. In Buffalo's laying 14. It's a lot of points, but do you think Pittsburgh's going to have?
That's a lot of points. That's the thing. This is the first time Pittsburgh has been a 14-point dog.
But they're going to get annihilated.
They're going
to get annihilated by Buffalo.
Yeah, but they could get annihilated and still lose by 13. Like they could be a 20-point lead late in the fourth quarter and you get backdoored. That kind of shit happens all the fucking time. That game's in Buffalo, though, right?
It's in Buffalo. I mean, Pittsburgh's going to have to score 14 points for that to happen, and I don't know that they can.
My buddy's a big Buffalo fan, and he goes up to Buffalo every year to at least 1 or 2 games. They're playing the Jets at MetLife the week that the Giants have a bye. I think I'm going to try to go to that game with them and be part of the Bills Mafia situation, see how that goes. So that'll be fun. So I might
Sunday night. I like the under in that. I like the Bengals, but I also like the under in that 48.5 Bengals Ravens.
That's a good game.
Kind of leaning the under in the Raiders Chiefs at 51 as well. Yeah, they're actually both primetime games this week.
Yeah. I kind of lean Baltimore cover. Well, Baltimore what? Baltimore's laying 3
right now.
I wouldn't. If you like Baltimore, I wouldn't play anything more than that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't play both. I don't play side.
Yeah, those games are always close.
And I do think the Cardinals are getting 5 at home. Philly's 4-0. They're looking to lose one here.
Yeah,
this could be a tough spot for them. So
I kind of thought they would lose last week at home, like a letdown spot against the Jaguars. They were down 14-0, and then Trevor Lawrence decided to fumble the ball 4 times and just lose the game. I had Jaguars +7. They lost by 8, so that kind of sucks. But what are you going to do?
Okay.
But I'm definitely on those 2 already. The Dolphins, I posted it yesterday. Dolphins -3, Seattle +6. And it looks like I'm going to be on Tennessee -2.5. I'll do a little more digging there. But that's what will be on. That Jerry Jeudy prop. And then tomorrow on the under. So, yeah, I mean, teasing spots. If you're looking at like a money line parlay, definitely Green Bay. I would throw the Dolphins in there. Tampa. Buffalo.
We know Waddle. He missed practice today. I know he missed practice.
Jacksonville. Yeah, he always misses one. Those are those days.
Today's Wednesday when we
Yeah.
do Wednesday. Okay.
San Francisco's going to beat Carolina. Carolina is fucking dog shit.
They are. Yep.
That was one of my early reads last week. I had the Cardinals +2. It was a close game in the third quarter, but Rule as a favorite is like 3-12 now in his career. Baker Mayfield's like 25% against the spread as a favorite. And when a team puts up 17 points against Matt Rule's Carolina Panthers under the last 3 years he's been their coach, he's like 1-18 straight up. So if you put up 17 points against the Panthers, you're going to win that game. So is San Francisco going to put up 17 points? Most likely. So you might want to throw them in a parlay and maybe close it with Kansas City on Monday. So you can probably get 7 or 8 teams in there on the money line.
That'll be a monster.
That should all win. So, but yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, man.
So, all right, that's our football talk. So how about I tweeted this out today and you got upset by it, but I was just congratulating Judge for getting number 7 all time in the single season home run record.
Okay, listen. I respect your opinion. You're better than that. That's a lazy argument.
He's number 7 all time.
That's a lazy argument. Okay, so listen. Of the 6 guys in front of him, right? Only one of those guys made the playoffs. That was Sammy Sosa the year that he hit 66. All the other teams, they didn't fucking make the playoffs.
Hold on, stop.
McGuire didn't make it that year?
No. There are 20 teams that make the playoffs now, so that
I'm saying back then. Okay, well, listen. Even if it was just 1 or 2 teams, even if it was 1 or 2 teams, the Yankees would have still made the playoffs. They had 99 wins. They're not the Mets win 100 games and get a wild card. So
what year did McGuire do that?
That was McGuire and Sosa. McGuire and Sosa.
Yeah, what years were those?
98.
And Bonds was what? 02?
Yeah,
I was trying to remember that.
So, but listen, to do it with the Yankees, to do it in a walk year where he turned down all that money, gambled on himself, and he still did it. To do it in pinstripes with all that pressure on him all year long, he missed 5 games all season, and one of them was today because they sat him down. He basically played the whole year injury-free, which doesn't really happen for Aaron Judge, and he did it. And he does it in pinstripes with 62 home runs, 131 RBIs, and he's flirting with the Triple Crown down to the last 2 weeks.
I think I saw them say he did not win the Triple Crown. What did
he did not win the Triple Crown? Well, obviously, listen, he had there was a span over the course of 3 games. He had 7 straight walks because
which category did he not win?
So he didn't win the batting average. So he finished at 311. This kid for the Twins, he finished at 315. So, but Judge had the lead in batting average last week. But clearly, for the last 6 or 7 days, he's pressing to try to hit a home run, obviously, because he wants to break that record. So you got to give it to him. But to have the season that he did, to lead the,
I'm not denying his season. His season was incredible, and he's going to get paid for it, and it's great.
It's not the home run record. I'm not saying that it is. It is the American League home run record. He did have to pass Babe Ruth, which is crazy because that record's been around since 1927. He did have to pass Roger Maris. That record's been around for 61 years, which is fucking crazy. And just the manner in which he did it, it's like. It's an incredible offensive season. You can't freaking deny it. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I'm not. He had a monster year. He's going to win the MVP. He's going to get whatever the heck it is that he's going to end up getting, which is a ton of money. The point of my tweet is that it's just that I feel like people want to be like, oh, Bonds didn't listen.
Right.
You can say Bonds cheated. Whatever. I don't think
I wouldn't even say he cheated. I wouldn't even say he cheated.
I don't like the word cheat anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of these guys even actually ever failed a test. But even if they did, it wasn't a banned substance at the time.
Right.
But regardless, one way or another, the guy hit 73 home runs. We watched it happen.
Correct.
Right? So to say it didn't happen, so that was
these guys coming out like, oh, Aaron Judge, it's a clean record. I mean, you still listen, he probably didn't do anything, but you never know what these fucking ball
exactly. You don't know what he's doing.
And you got guys in the Hall of Fame that have admitted to doing PEDs. I mean, listen, you got David Ortiz, who was in the Mitchell Report. He was a unanimous.
They all should be
Hall of Famer. Like, come on, these guys in the Hall.
Barry Bonds should be in. Palmeiro should be in.
Clemens should be in. Bonds should be in. Fucking Palmeiro should be in. Like, there's so many. There's so many guys that should be fucking in, but every single era in baseball is tainted. I'm telling you right now. There's every single era in baseball is not clean. Listen, you had in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, pre-integration records before Black and Hispanics were allowed to play in Major League Baseball. Half of those athletes weren't allowed to play. So those records that all these guys like Babe Ruth and in the 20s and 30s were putting up all these records against whoever. That's really not a clean error. Then from the 40s to 70s, everyone's popping methamphetamines and friggin' like crazy from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And then you got the steroid era from the mid 80s to the early 2000s. And now you got the live ball era right now with the juice ball and all that kind of shit. So there's a different era in every 30, 35 years, 40 years in baseball. It's cyclical.
And the part is that when McGuire, Sosa, all those guys, everybody was doing it, and their pitchers were doing it. Everybody was doing it. So I feel like the playing field was level.
Well, the pitchers were doing it too, which makes one of my favorite pitchers of all time is, and I'm sure you'll back me up on this as being Boston guys, is Pedro. And him doing all this stuff against the bats that he faced, like his ERA, like the years that he won Cy Young, he's got a sub-2 ERA with all those 99 out of fucking control. The guy was fucking unhittable.
99 and 2000, those 2 years, he was absolutely untouchable.
Out of his fucking mind.
I think I watched every start for those 2 years. Now, I don't watch baseball at all.
Uh-huh.
What I found fascinating, because I have a completely different take on this, the national media cutting in to watch this. This was 2022 media. Everyone's got to have their moment. I don't know anybody other than friends of mine who are Yankee fans that give a shit about this. And it was so different in 98. This to me felt like please pay attention, please care about this.
That's what I think part of it is.
Well, if it wasn't the Yankees, I don't know if this is my Yankee bias like bleeding through, but I think if it wasn't the Yankees, because it's the fucking Yankees and they're an international brand, it wouldn't be as big of a headline. Yeah. And the fact that you got Judge with 62, Maris with 61, and Babe Ruth with 60. That's 3 Yankee right fielders is pretty crazy. But now they're branding it as the American League record. That's just like the politically correct way of saying the clean record. So now it's the American League record. It's the American League record. It is what it is. But listen, to take anything away from him to hit 62 home runs and 131 RBIs and a bat 311 with the Yankees in a walk year and only miss 5 games of the year and take this team to the fucking playoffs, he's literally the MVP. Without Aaron Judge on the Yankees, they don't do shit. And this is out of the leadoff spot for over 50% of the year.
But if he hit 59, you'd be saying the exact same thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, Stanton hit 59 when he was with the Marlins. I think his second to last year with the Marlins.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did. He hit 59. He went fucking crazy. And then he got drilled in the face, I think, the next year after that. But you got to think, like, Maris had Mantle protecting him in the lineup. Babe Ruth had Lou Gehrig protecting him in the lineup. Who the fuck did Aaron Judge have protecting him in the lineup?
That's why these last 3 weeks you saw him get walked every time.
Right. And he's batting leadoff because DJ's hurt and partially because I want to get him more at bats. You're obviously going to get more bats in the leadoff spot.
Well, that's the other part of the record.
But for him to be doing that the way in the fashion that he did, it's just a fucking incredible year and one of the best offensive years we've ever seen. So that's
your view. I think I know the answer, but what is your view if they lose in the first round? He goes 0 for 15 and then walks after the end of the year. You're probably going to burn every piece of junk.
I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, listen, it's a disappointment every year when the Yankees don't win the World Series. It's that simple.
So for me, that scenario thrown at me doesn't change my opinion of him at all. Everyone can have a bad 3 games.
Well, I mean, listen, the postseason baseball, especially in the Bronx, is different. I mean, you're playing the best of the best, and they're going to be approached. He's not going to get a single pitch to hit. I'm telling you right now.
So
anytime there's a base open, he's not going to get a pitch to hit.
He shouldn't. The guy hitting behind him is 220. Now, guy hitting behind him has hit 31 home runs. But he's hitting 220.
No, I don't think DJ LeMahieu makes the first round lineup because of his toe. So Judge is still going to be batting 1. You're going to have Glaber batting 2.
Oh, is it Rizzo batting second?
Glaber Torres is probably going to bat 2. I mean, he's had a really damn good last month and a half.
How do they hit Rizzo?
I don't know. I mean, probably 3, Stanton 4. I'd say maybe Bader 5. I don't know what they're going to do because Carpenter might still make the ALDS lineup. I mean, they're not playing until next Tuesday, so they got a whole fucking week.
So that is going to hurt them. We were talking about this last night. The teams with these buys are going to get at least 7 days off.
Yeah, they got a week off. So
that's not good.
But the thing that I'm most scared about, because I'm going to game 1, I got tickets already. The thing that I'm most scared about is they're going to announce Gerrit Cole pitching game 1, and I fucking hate the son of a bitch. I can't fucking stand him. He gave up the most home runs in fucking baseball.
I know he does.
He gives up just a shot all the time, and it pisses me the hell off. So
you lose Nappy?
I know our buddy dropped out for a second, but he's like, "Oh, too much baseball talk. Fuck them."
Yeah. So, who do you have win it? Do you have any underdog in any series?
Well, I still have a bunch of futures that I played back in March. I played 6 World Series. I had 6 World Series futures. and I have Milwaukee eliminated and the Angels eliminated. I still have St. Louis at plus 3,000. I have the Dodgers in there. I think they were plus 550. The Yankees in there like plus 850, and the Braves in there like plus 950. So I still got those 4 teams in there.
So I meant maybe you'd understand. I meant in any of these playoff series coming up. Who do you got any underdogs? You gonna bet? You gonna bet any series?
Oh yeah, the Padres, because the Mets fucking stink. They just choked away the division. Now they're shot. Fuck them. These dumb, stupid. Listen, I'm telling you right now. I've got a bunch of Met fan buddies. Yeah, they made the playoffs. It's their 10th time ever making the playoffs, which is crazy. The Yankees have won the East. The Yankees have won the East 21 times. The Mets have made the playoffs 10 times in their fucking, since the 60s. But the fact that these Met fans are saying, oh, we're still happy that they made the playoffs, fucking bullshit. You were up 10.5 games over the summer. You were in first place 174 days of the Major League Baseball season out of the 180 days that we have. You were in first place. Wow. And now, as a consolation for winning 101 games, you have to host a wild card series against the Padres, who have owned you this year. And then if you happen to win that series, you got to play the best team in baseball in the Dodgers. So don't give me this fucking bullshit that you're happy with the wild card. Yeah, if we told you before the year started that you're going to make the playoffs, right, as a wild card team, any Met fan would have taken that. If you told a Met fan you're going to win 101 games, Met fans would have said, where the hell do I sign? I'll cut off my leg for that. Right. But the fact that the way that it happened, you got to be disappointed as a Met fan, because you basically went from having a week off to having the toughest road to the World Series in baseball.
Yeah.
So
through that,
they choked. They flat out choked. All they had to do was win one game in Atlanta. They flat out choked.
That Atlanta team is good, though.
They're 5 division titles in a row. They're good.
They are good. They're stacked everywhere. Pitching, hitting, bullpen. Mm-hmm. They're stacked. They're going to give the Dodgers a run for their money.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the Dodgers like to choke things away too, but
they kind of do. But they're so fucking good. I saw the Padres right now are plus 3,000 to win the whole thing. The Phillies are plus 3,000 to win the whole thing.
Who are the Phillies playing?
The Phillies are playing the Cardinals, so that's going to be a good series.
I don't mind that.
Too many teams. Were these games on True TV this year? What's the schedule?
All this first round,
even on Amazon, probably.
This first round's all on ESPN, and that's it. So these games are all played in one ballpark, and it's a best of 3. So if you win the first 2 games, and that's it, they don't play a third game. Yeah. So the Mets host the Padres for 3 games: Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Cardinals are going to be hosting the Phillies for 3 games.
I don't know about that. I'm a Zach Wheeler guy. I like Zach Wheeler, and I like the other guy, the second starter they got. Nola.
Yeah.
I don't mind the Phillies.
Ever since they shit canned Girardi, they've been a much better team, and that happened.
I'd love to see the Indians win, but I don't think they're any good.
See, now they've got the Yankees play. The Yankees play the winner of that series, and then you got Toronto and Seattle. I think Toronto and Seattle's a toss-up. That's going to be a really good series. That probably goes to the full 3 games.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But then you got, odds are it's going to be Yankees versus Houston, and I fucking hate the Astros because those assholes have been a goddamn thorn in our side. So all my buddies are like, yo, I want the Astros. I want revenge. I go, fuck that. I don't want the Astros. I want to go to the World Series. Those pieces of shit fucking have been owning us for the last 5-6 years. But let's see how they do without cheating, I know you hate the word cheating, but that's motherfucking cheating.
I got one for you. I want not to switch again.
No, go ahead, because we were going to switch.
Pickett.
Who?
Pickett. Plus 600 rookie of the year. I tweeted it out after our first show. I said plus 1,500. It's way too fucking cheap. There are no good rookies this year. It's whoever the best quarterback's going to be. He's going to be the best one. He's still plus 600 in from plus 1,500. I still like it there. And he actually got the job sooner than I thought he was going to get it. So,
no, the other guy is just so bad. Can you imagine taking Mitch Trubisky over Pat Mahomes? That is something. You can't recover from that.
And they traded. Didn't the Bears trade up to get him?
I don't know.
Yeah, there are a lot of those bad. Josh Allen.
They had that draft was Mitch Trubisky, Deshaun Watson. And fucking Pat Mahomes. What are you doing? You take fucking Mitch Trubisky?
And Allen, that was the other one. So he was I liked him in Offensive Player of the Year. It's interesting. You look at the lines right now. So he went from plus 2,000 to plus 1,400. So he's the richest he's been. Lamar Jackson right now is actually the odds-on favorite. So there's a quarterback in the one hole odds-wise.
Yeah.
Allen didn't play that well last week until the second half. It was kind of shitty weather. I'll give him. That's the one thing with Allen, man. If you put him in a dome, the stats would be ridiculous.
Yeah, he's having a great season too.
He's favorite to win MVP, but not offensive player.
You know what is probably a lock? I don't use that word very often. I fucking hate it, but God forbid, fingers crossed he doesn't get hurt. But comeback player of the year is going to be Saquon Barkley.
I looked at that. You're 100% right. The problem is he's plus 150, and
there's no value there anymore.
Injury. This happened last year. We called Dak Prescott on the show at plus 700, like week 3,
right?
And he got all the way down at the end. He was like minus 280.
Sure.
And we pointed it out like 4 different weeks, and then it just got stupid.
Right.
Plus 150 is just too stupid. If he was plus 400, even plus 300, I could be talked into doing it. Plus 150, he misses a couple games, and all of a sudden, like somebody else. But when you look at the rest of the field.
So you know what? Maybe a dark horse comeback player of the year might be like Tua or something. If Tua only misses like 2 games and then he goes like ape shit the rest of the way with Tyreek Hill and Waddle or something like that, he might be a decent comeback player of the year candidate.
Well, here are the top odds right now on Barstool. Saquon plus 150. Brian Robinson hasn't even played a game.
I know.
He's number 2 at plus 400.
That's wild.
Derrick Henry's plus 700. He's not going to win. McCaffrey plus 800. He's not going to win. J.K. Dobbins plus 1,400. Geno Smith plus 2,000. As stupid as that sounds.
Oh yeah.
Like plus
he can't. There's no way he can keep this up. There's just no fucking way.
But for plus 2,000, I mean, just to throw 5 or 10.
Yeah, just to throw some. But I mean, to play those games in November and December in fucking Seattle.
No, I know. They're letting them.
It's just going to be brutal.
There's not much out there. I don't even know. Tua is probably not on the board right now.
How the hell is Derrick Henry even like a candidate for comeback for year? Because he missed like a couple games last year. What the fuck are we talking about?
Oh, that too.
Oh, what about Marcus Mariota? I mean, that might be a dark horse play. He's playing. He's not playing that bad in Atlanta.
He is.
They're 2-2, aren't they? They're 2-2, right?
They're 2-2, and they're 4-0 against the spread.
Yeah, he's plus 4,000. I just think he's going to be benched halfway through the season.
They're 4-0 against the spread, and the lines are 4-0 to the over. So,
okay, so we're at 52 minutes right now. So we're going to close this out with this little fun here. Tom Brady's next girlfriend. We got odds on it. Who do you got? You got Taylor Swift plus 1,400.
Taylor Swift plus 1,400. I don't know. Who else is out there?
Oh, they got. Adriana Lima. I don't know who that is.
Oh, that Victoria's Secret model. How do you not know who that is? She's ridiculous, Jared. Come on.
Where are you finding these odds?
They're on Bet Online. There's odds. They also have like Giselle's next, and on Bet Online, Giselle's top person. And if this fucking happens, the world. Pete Davidson. That guy's the biggest scumbag, sleazeball, plus 1,200. He's the odds-on favorite.
How do you confirm they're actually how does that hit?
I don't know.
Like for example, if it's a one-night hookup, but
they're holding hands, they get caught holding hands.
I don't know. You got odds out. You got odds out there on it. Who's next for each one of them?
Is it
maybe Tom Brady goes? Maybe Tom Brady goes back with that. Remember that?
I said the same thing. Bridget Monahan. She's plus 4,000.
Yeah, that actress he had a kid with.
Somebody told me she's getting married.
I thought she was getting married. Yeah. Well, so do we know that it's really going to happen? It was the fucking New York Post.
Oh, do I know? No, I don't.
Hey, don't shit on the New York Post. I love that fucking thing. Listen. The New York Post, they've got lines in it every day. They got the ponies in there every day. I read the Post
it's a gambler's paper. It's a gambler's paper.
100%. That's why I read it. I throw out the first 75% of it. I just go to the back.
Yeah, it's a gambler's paper.
No, they always had, even 20 years ago, they had their, when the internet, they always had the
That's where I would get my lines. That's where I used to get my lines back in the day.
You would do it in office.
Like, I'm old enough, I still do this. You know the ticket? So you got the ticket. It's got all the lines on there, whether you're going to play the spread or whether you're going to play the over, and you circle the number on the ticket. And then at the bottom is like a little square that you rip off, and the number of the corresponding play. You circle that, and you get. I still do that.
Football cards? You still find a football card somewhere?
I still do that shit. I go to my.
You'll ever find on those things?
Unbelievable. I go to my beer distributor's my guy, so I go to him. I pick up a 36-pack of Miller that I never fucking pay for every single fucking Saturday or Sunday, and I give him the ticket, and that's it. So, and it's always got the incorrect date up top. It's got the right day of the week. It'll say Sunday, October 8th, 1997, when, obviously the plays are for 2022.
Start running those out of Tony's Turk. That wouldn't be a bad.
So somebody does.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not interested in getting involved into that.
Okay.
But,
now, do you guys have do you have a OTB kiosk over at Tony's, or what do you got?
No, there's no OTB in Massachusetts.
There isn't.
Nope.
So how do you get your ponies in? It's all, you just call your guy. It's all online.
No. So you can go to like the old dog track has it.
Yeah.
I don't think Encore has it. No, there's no OTB. There's nothing in Massachusetts.
Oh shit. Okay.
So you got to go to the Plainville racetrack and put a bet in if you want to go there and do it.
Okay.
Or you use TVG.
Well, yeah. I mean, I predominantly use TVG, but I mean, if there's
there's no now when sports betting legalized.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if horse racing was a part of that.
See, now if I'm on a little break at work and I pass the OTB, I go right in and I'll watch for like a half hour. It's nice and easy, to do, and then get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
So,
we don't have that here.
You got quick draw over at Tony's? Quick draw. You quick draw the lot. Okay.
We used to have the lottery. He got rid of it a couple of years ago for some reason.
Oh, okay. No, bring that back.
Huh?
No Keno?
No Keno. No, there'll never be Keno and Tony's.
I love the quick draw. I always go to the local spot around the corner for me. They got quick draw. That's why I watch football sometimes.
People want it. I'd be writing tickets all night for Keno if we had it. No one would be getting any beer or anything. I'd just be doing lottery tickets.
Well, good luck figuring out the TV situation tomorrow, Tony.
Yeah, we'll get it straightened out. It'll be fine tomorrow night. But
we got hockey season next week. I can't wait.
Hockey starts next week. Yeah, we're going to be ready for that. I'm just about ready. We'll be ready for it to get it going. So
I got to look at some futures.
Maybe we'll come up with some hockey stuff to do. But we're just about an hour, so it's time to end it. Patrick's in the background probably saying one of these guys is going to stop talking.
I know, right?
So that's it. Thursday night.
Boys, good luck.
We'll talk to everybody tomorrow, next week. See you.
Good luck.
Bye.